The trial of O.J. Simpson, USA, 1995, duration 3 minutes. In June 1994, O.J. Simpson, a former NFL star, was accused of murdering his ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ron Goldman outside Nicole's home in Los Angeles. Simpson's case became a media spectacle due to his celebrity status. The police found a trail of blood leading to Simpson's estate, and DNA evidence seemed to implicate him. However, Simpson's defense team, known as the Dream Team, argued that the police mishandled evidence and used racial prejudice. The trial lasted for 11 months and was broadcast live on television, drawing millions of viewers. The prosecution presented compelling evidence, including a bloody glove found at the scene, but Simpson's defense argued that it was planted. On October 3, 1995, after nearly 9 hours of deliberation, the jury acquitted O.J. Simpson of the murders. The verdict divided the nation, with many believing Simpson was guilty, but others citing racial bias and police corruption in the investigation. The Case of the Brinks Job, UK, 1987. Duration 3 minutes. In November 1987, a group of armed robbers planned the Brinksmat heist at Heathrow Airport. They had insider knowledge about the transport of gold bullion, diamonds, and cash worth £26 million. The robbers used airport employees to help them steal the goods. The thieves stormed the warehouse and stole gold bullion, diamonds, and cash. However, after the heist, the robbers began to face pressure from the authorities, as many were caught through investigations. The police were able to arrest many of the gang members. Some were convicted, but a significant portion of the gold was never recovered. The case became one of the biggest heists in UK history, and the mystery surrounding the missing gold has kept it a subject of public fascination. Among those involved was Kenneth Noye, a known criminal. The case led to further criminal investigations, and in 1996, Noye was convicted of the murder of a police officer during a separate incident. The trial of Adolf Eichmann took place in Israel in 1961. Adolf Eichmann was a high-ranking Nazi officer responsible for organizing the logistics of the Holocaust, including the transportation of Jews to concentration camps. After World War II, Eichmann fled to Argentina, where he lived under an assumed name for over a decade. In 1960, Israeli intelligence agents captured Eichmann and brought him to Israel for trial. This marked one of the first high-profile Nazi war criminal trials in Israel. Eichmann's defense was that he was simply following orders and was not personally responsible for the atrocities. However, the court found his actions to be a clear case of crimes against humanity, particularly due to his role in the systematic extermination of millions. Eichmann was found guilty of war crimes and crimes against humanity. He was sentenced to death, and after several appeals failed, he was executed by hanging in 1962. The trial was pivotal in shedding light on the Holocaust, as Eichmann's testimony and the court's proceedings brought the horrors of the genocide into public consciousness. It also sparked debates about the nature of individual responsibility during times of war. The Dolly the Sheep case, which took place in the United Kingdom in 1997, is a landmark event in the history of genetic science. Let's delve into the details and implications of this remarkable case. In 1996, scientists at the Roslin Institute in Edinburgh, Scotland, successfully cloned a sheep named Dolly. They used a process called somatic cell nuclear transfer, or SCNT. Remarkably, Dolly was the first mammal to be cloned from an adult somatic cell, which is a non-reproductive cell. Dolly's birth sparked global ethical debates about cloning genetic engineering and the potential for cloning humans. Some viewed it as a breakthrough in science, while others feared the moral and social consequences of cloning technology. Religious groups, politicians and scientists had differing opinions. Some worried about the idea of cloning humans, while others considered it a step forward in genetics and medicine. Dolly lived for 6 years, but her health was compromised due to age-related diseases. In 2003, Dolly was euthanized after developing a progressive lung disease, raising further questions about the health risks of cloned animals. Dolly's cloning led to regulatory frameworks around cloning and genetic research, particularly concerning the ethics of cloning humans. It also triggered discussions on the role of scientific advancements in society and medicine. The McLibel case, spanning from 1997 to 2005, is one of the most famous legal battles in the UK. It involved McDonald's and two activists, Helen Steele and David Morris. The case became a symbol of the struggle for free speech and the fight against corporate power. In 1986, two activists, Helen Steele and David Morris, distributed pamphlets accusing McDonald's of unethical practices, such as environmental destruction, exploitation of workers, and animal cruelty in its food production. McDonald's sued the two individuals for libel in 1990, claiming that their pamphlet defamed the company's reputation. This led to a highly publicized court case in which Steele and Morris defended themselves without legal representation. The trial lasted for over 2 years and became the longest-running libel case in English history. The court was presented with evidence of McDonald's labor practices, health effects of its food, and environmental impact. In 1997, the court ruled that some of the claims made in the pamphlet were defamatory, but Steele and Morris were also able to prove certain criticisms, such as McDonald's contribution to global deforestation and exploitation of children through advertising. McDonald's was ordered to pay part of the court costs. This case was seen as a major victory for free speech and activism, as it highlighted the power of large corporations to silence critics. It also raised awareness about corporate practices, and in the public eye, McDonald's came to be seen as overly aggressive in defending its brand.